You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Syracuse football is rightfully favored, okay? They are a 7-win ACC team going up against UConn. They should win this game. I've laid out the reasons why, but it's also got a very similar feel to the Stanford game. This is not me being a nervous Nelly. This is me giving you guys a reality check. This game might not be as easy as you would expect. Bottom line, the line on FanDuel, which I just read, is Syracuse football by 10.5 points. 10.5 points is in the upset round. Syracuse football was just a 10.5 point underdog against Cal. It can be done. Now, why does this game remind me a little bit of the Stanford game? Okay, why does it remind me of that? Because in that one, the main key for Syracuse was just get ahead of Stanford. Stanford's quarterback cannot throw a football well. He can't. Ashton Daniels, sorry, man, you're not very good. I've seen you enough. Not accurate at all. But guess what? Stanford was ahead for the majority of the game. Now, yeah, Syracuse did eventually battle back and take the lead late in the fourth quarter, and then Ashton Daniels decided, I'm now going to make the best throw I've ever made in my entire life to Alec Iomanner down the left sideline to beat Syracuse. But if Syracuse in that game showed up early and they got up, let's say, 14-3 in the second quarter, they would have cruised to a victory. It's kind of the same feel with UConn, where I feel that if Syracuse football goes up early, they're going to have no problem winning this game. Because like I said, UConn's strength on offense is running the football. 3 guys with over 500 yards. 3 guys with over 5 yards per carry. 3 guys who have played all 10 games for UConn this season. They like to run the football. They run the football 57% of the time. They got a veteran offensive line. All of a sudden, though, if UConn's trailing in this game, what does that do? Well, naturally, you got to start throwing the football more. That's just how it works. So if you get ahead and you force UConn to do what it doesn't want to do, which is throw the football a ton of times in this game, Syracuse is not going to have trouble. That's why I say there's a little bit of a connection to the Stanford game. It's not that I want to make you guys panic or make you guys nervous. I'm just letting you guys the reality here, where Syracuse football is going to have to come ready to play. And they're going to have to try to bury them early. Because if they can bury them early, they're going to win this game. Bottom line. However, if they fall behind, this could be a back and forth type of one, which I hope does not happen. I'll get to my prediction in a second. I promise. I will. But what are the stakes for Syracuse in this game? Well, they're pretty big. Syracuse football, I know, they cannot compete for the ACC title. They are eliminated. They can't do it. And barring a miracle, I don't think they would be selected for the college football playoff. I just don't see a 3-loss team that doesn't make their conference championship game in the ACC getting in. Now, maybe if they were in the SEC, that'd be a different story, but that's a conversation for another day. But still, this is an important game for Syracuse. And I kind of laid out, I told you guys about this in my last football podcast, which was the post-game recap to Cal. Syracuse football is going for an 8-win season. They are 7-3 this year. Why are 8 wins significant? Well, they have not had an 8-win regular season. Keywords are regular season since 2018. Okay, so that's 6 years. That's cool. If they win this game, they get their 8th win. That is their second 8-win regular season of the 21st century. How about that for you? Syracuse football has won 8 games in a season in the past. In this century, too. They've done it. But not in the regular season. That 8th win has come in a bowl game. In fact, a couple of years ago, they went 7-5 and had a chance for their 8th win in the bowl game. But this year, they can get 8 wins solely from the regular season. And maybe you're looking at potentially a 9-win season overall. Now, why is this game specifically important to that? Well, they have 2 games left, but next week, Syracuse football plays Miami. And I'm not saying that they can't beat Miami. They can't pull off an upset in that one. But what I will tell you, I promise you this, Syracuse football is going to be an underdog. They will be an underdog against Miami, and it will be tough for Syracuse to win that game. So, you got an inferior opponent at home. This is the one you got to take care of business. Get your 8th win now. And so that next week, you're playing potentially for your 9th win. How about that? That's why the stakes of this game are pretty important for Syracuse. You want to get that 8th win. This is the time to do it. Take care of business at home against UConn, an inferior team. Now, as far as my prediction, what do I think is going to happen? I like Syracuse's chances. I think they are going to come out firing, and they are going to win this game 37-20. Leave your score prediction in the comments section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. But again, they got to get ahead early. If they get ahead early, I got no problems. I think Syracuse is going to be fine. But if they don't, and UConn's able to run the football well, not good. Not good for Syracuse. That's where you can get into an upset potentially. But I have faith that Syracuse is going to come out strong. 37-20. Syracuse. That's my score prediction.